There's a strange silence in the moments before you realize your power. You're sitting there, staring at your phone, replaying that last text you sent. She hasn't yet replied. You start overthinking, did I say too much? Did I sound desperate? And in that moment, a quiet fear creeps in. A fear that maybe you lost her interest. But what if I told you, attraction doesn't fade because of what you didn't say, it fades because of what you kept saying. Most men talk themselves out of desire. They say too much, reveal too soon, and kill the mystery that keeps her chasing. See, attraction isn't as logical, it's emotional. And emotions don't chase comfort, they chase curiosity. That's why silence, space, and mystery work better than constant validation. But here's the secret most men miss. There are 5 words that flip that dynamic completely. 5 words that make her curious again. 5 words that make her chase you. And before I reveal them, I need to show you why they work. Because power in communication isn't about memorizing lines, it's about mastering presence. Think about it. When a man who knows his worth speaks, every word lands differently. He doesn't rush to fill silence. He doesn't try to explain himself. He says what he means and lets the world react. That's what makes him magnetic. You ever seen that guy who barely says a sentence, but everyone listens? That's not luck. That's emotional control. Here's the truth. Women don't fall for words. They fall for the energy behind them. A man who knows his value doesn't chase. He invites. He doesn't try to impress. He expresses, and the 5 words you're about to learn are only powerful if you say them with that calm certainty. Let me give you a quick story. There was a guy named Alex, average-looking, soft-spoken. He was dating this girl who slowly started pulling away. Fewer texts, colder tone. You know the drill. One night, instead of double texting, he simply said 5 words that changed everything. She didn't just reply. She chased him. Why? Because those words flipped the script. They turned the frame from "I need your attention" to "I stamp the one you need to earn." We still get to those words soon. But first, here's something to remember. You can't attract someone who doesn't feel like you have options. You can't inspire someone who senses you're afraid to lose them. Power doesn't come from control. It comes from the willingness to walk away. And here sits where most men fail. They think love means attachment, but real attraction, the kind that makes her stay up thinking about you, comes from unpredictability. From showing that your world doesn't revolve around her, that you're capable of warmth and distance, that you stay grounded enough to say, "I like you, but I don't need you." There's a fine line between being romantic and being replaceable, and most guys cross that line without realizing it. They text too often. They explain too much. They try to fix every pause in conversation, and with every extra word, they lose a little bit of mystery. So here's the mindset shift. Don't start chase, challenge. Don't beg for validation, command attention. And how do you do that? By speaking less but saying more. By mastering emotional detachment, the ability to care deeply without becoming dependent. Remember this, the strongest form of attraction is not "I want you." It starts "I could have you, but I stopped choosing not to yet." Now let's circle back, because I know what you stir thinking. Just tell me the 5 words already. Patience, my friend. Because if you say them too soon, without understanding the frame behind them, they lose their magic. In the next act, I'll reveal those exact words and why they psychologically flip a woman's attraction switch in your favor. But before we move on, ask yourself this. If she stopped chasing you today, would you still move the same way tomorrow? Would you still hold your energy, your confidence, your purpose? Because if your worth depends on her attention, then even the perfect words won't save you. Hold that thought, because what you're about to learn next might just make her chase you for the rest of her life. All right, you waited. You earned this part. Let's talk about those 5 words. But before that, a quick reminder. These words only work if they come from a place of calm authority. You can't fake it. You can't say it in desperation. They only hit when you mean them. The 5 words are, "You are not my only option." Now wait, before you jump to conclusions. It's not about arrogance. It's about energy. When you say it right, with a calm, confident tone, what she hears isn't rejection. What she hears is value. She feels that she's in the presence of a man who doesn't beg for love. He inspires it. These words flip the power dynamic instantly, because most men spend their energy proving they suck enough. But when you say, "You're not my only option," you subtly communicate that you have choice, and choice is what makes you desirable. You see, desire doesn't grow in certainty, it grows in risk. The moment she feels like she can't lose you, the chase dies. But the moment she feels like your attention could shift, her instincts activate. That's human psychology, not manipulation. It's how attraction works, the pull of something that's just out of reach. Now I know some of you might say, "But that sounds cold." No, it's not. It's real. It's what keeps the balance in any dynamic: mutual respect, mutual pursuit. Because when one side stops chasing, the other starts running. The point isn't to play games, it's to maintain gravity. To remind her that your world has depth, that your attention is earned, not given by default. So, how do you say it without sounding cocky? You say it with calm, grounded certainty. Like this: she teases you for not replying fast. You smile and say, "You are not my only option." Playful, balanced, not bitter, magnetic. Because it makes her pause and think, "Wait, who else?" Now that small thought, that flicker of curiosity, is what keeps her emotionally invested. Because attraction isn't about making her comfortable, it's about making her intrigued. But here's the secret most men never learn. It's not just the words, it's the energy after them. If you say those words but then instantly act needy again, it collapses. If you say them and then disappear, focus on your purpose, and live fully, she feels the shift. That's when she starts chasing, because at her core, every woman wants a man who can stand alone. A man who doesn't need her for validation, but chooses her for connection. When she feels that she values you more. Now here's a little twist. Those 5 words aren't just for relationships, they're a mindset for life. In business, friendships, even your personal goals, never make one outcome your entire identity. When you act like "this is my only shot," you lose your edge. But when you move like "I have options," the world bends toward your confidence. Confidence isn't noise. It's quiet certainty. It's walking away from what doesn't value you, without explaining why. It's smiling when someone doubts you, because deep down, you already know where you're headed. And that's what makes people chase, not the words alone, but the man who says them. The man who knows he doesn't need to convince anyone to stay. So next time you stir in that moment, when she sips distant, testing or fading, remember this. Don't but panic, don't but chase. Breathe, lean back, and let silence speak first. Because sometimes, not reacting is the most powerful reaction. Then, when the time feels right, say those 5 words, gently, confidently, with a smirk. "You are not my only option." You'll be surprised how quickly the energy shifts. Because in that instant, you remind her, and yourself, that your time is rare, your presence is earned, and your worth was never up for debate. Now here's my challenge to you. Don't just use those words. Live them. Make your life so full of purpose, so full of options, that you never have to chase anyone again. And if you want to learn what to say next, the exact follow-up phrase that keeps her chasing even harder, watch the next video right after this one. But before you go, drop this in the comments. What's one situation where you should have said these 5 words, but didn't? I still be reading. Because the next time you do, she still chase you forever.